Welcome to the Prospectors Radio Show, the talk show for our community. Please welcome Rich Cooley, Indiana Gold Hunter Dennis Dayton, Kathleen Biffle, and your host, Tim Grimes.
All right, everybody, welcome back to another Sunday edition of Prospector Radio. The whole gang's here. There's old Scott and Rob, and Jaren's joining us. Rich will be right back here in 1 second. And we got a special guest joining us tonight. James Barkley, all the way from Bering Sea Gold, will be hanging out here with us for a little bit and sharing some info, maybe some stories with us. So, what's happening, fellas?
Freezing.
Scott's freezing because it's 45 degrees.
Got freaking snow everywhere, hail.
It's like we've had a warm winter. This has been one of the warmest winters
5 degrees
we've had a long time. I mean, it was like what, 50 some degrees today here. I mean, I think the coldest it's supposed to get down to the upper 40s. Looking at the forecast ahead,
it's 42. Yeah, it's gonna be like in the 40s all from
70s
now
all next week.
Yeah,
crazy.
Yeah, can't. Scott's, look at him. Look how he's dressed. It looks like he's outside.
I really think that when the Earth, how they every year it kind of tilts us a little bit different. I think it's slowly but surely. Before you know it, Arizona's going to be the states that has the cold, brutal winters, and Indiana.
Wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah, would be nice for me.
Yeah, you guys are cold and we're warm. That would be awesome. Warm here year round. Scott gets the crappy cold winters.
Yeah.
And then the thing about it is, it stays warm in the wintertime. You can go up and prospect in Lebanon, Indiana, all you want to.
Things would just be so much better. Yeah.
I think we only had one other winter where it snowed here. That was probably 5 or 6 ago, but it snowed big flakes for about 3 hours. But I can't remember last time it was actually stayed this cold this long.
Right. Yeah.
It's
you're
like
probably not even used to turning a heater on, are you?
And you know that.
Oh, yeah.
We were just talking about, actually, before we even got on there, talking to wife about how long it stayed this warm.
Yeah.
This warm, this long.
Oh, it's been a great winter. Yeah.
God, you haven't dry washed in over what, a month and a half?
Oh, easily.
We haven't dry washed since November.
Yeah.
Since November. Wow. It's been a while then. Been longer than we thought.
Been that wet.
Wow. For months.
Yeah, about 2 months.
Not weeks. Usually it's just weeks. It's been months.
Yeah.
Holy cow, guys. Rob, you still going down?
I didn't think it was that long.
Well, this past week I was sick, so
right.
Hoping to shoot back down there here soon.
Yeah. Now, hopefully you get back down there this week, maybe, if you feel up to it. Yeah. Yeah. Aren't you taking that airborne crap that Scott takes?
Yeah.
And it didn't help neither one of you, huh?
Oh yeah, it got us over in 2 days instead of 4.
Well, okay. Well, you still don't really look over it yet. Are you over it 100% or no?
I feel okay.
Yes,
okay.
I mean, I'm still coughing stuff up, but that's just normal stuff there.
I've been doing that for a week. I was sick for
Yeah.
Same thing, coughing, stuff, just awful sick. Tired of being sick this year. Been sick too many times. Yeah, I've just been sick too many damn times this year.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Joe Biden, for the COVID vaccine. Saying it that lowers your immunities or screws up your immunities, but
any vaccine does.
I've never been sick this much.
That's the thing. If people don't understand how a vaccine works, they actually give you a small case of it. That way your body will build immunity to it. So guess who gave you the COVID, folks?
Immunity my ass. That's what I say. Yeah. All right, let me hear some gold prices, Scott. We'll get our
Man, you think I got the gold prices?
I hope you got some gold.
Actually, they're not bad, but they're not that great. Gold actually took a $10.70 hit on Friday. Brought us down to 18.12, which is still good. It's still above 18. We can handle that. Silver also took a 0.56 drop, and it went down to 20.06, which is still not bad, still to 20, but it's not as 24 like it used to be.
24 or 23.
Yeah. We got platinum actually took a $37 hit, went down to 19 or 919 bucks, which is below 1,000. That ain't good for that. Palladium took a $40 drop, and that went to 1,490. Rhodium took the biggest, and that's $600 drop, but it went to $11,100.
Wow.
So they are still above 10 grand.
Yeah, things are weird. Jaron, how about the Bitcoin?
Bitcoin $23,501 currently.
Okay. All right. It was it was see, excuse me. It was like 25
coming.
week ago. Right, Jaron?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it goes down from nothing to nothing.
It'll go back.
I see 50,000 coming.
It's in the green. It's rolling up. I do too, Rich. I really do. I see it going back to 50. Big time.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I do. I really do. It's going to go back. You watch.
So also before we get the guest, I share that link out to them. We have the monthly giveaway tonight. So
That's tonight.
Type in gold porn in the GPS chat room to get entered onto the wheel, and we'll do that after the guest.
Gold porn.
Really?
I'm in.
All right, let me find GPS chat.
I'm in.
I guess I'm gonna have to sign up. You never know. I might not win again.
You might not win again. But never hurts to not try to not win again.
You know what? I can't tell you the last time I actually won off one of them wheels things.
Well, tonight might just be your lucky night, Scott.
Maybe.
Yeah, it might be.
How do we get entered to win?
You got to type the word gold porn in the GPS chat room.
I'm in.
I won once or twice. I won Jaron's thing, and then I won. I won. I don't remember.
That's all you guys do. It's easy peasy, mac and cheesy.
Oh, Walking Liberty. Yeah.
Right? Man, it don't get no easier. What the heck am I seeing? Seeing flashes out of the corner of my eye. Oh, the heck it is. Strange. Everybody entered? There's James connecting now. He's connecting to audio. James, can you hear us?
Hey, how's it going?
Going good, buddy. How are you doing tonight?
Oh, pretty good.
That's good. So where are you at right now? Are you down there or are you somewhere warmer?
Oh, I'm definitely in a place a lot warmer. Thankfully, I'm not out in Alaska doing any ice mining.
Right? Not the time, huh?
Oh, no, it's just too cold for my body. Too many aches and pains. Doesn't feel nice.
I feel you. I know what you're saying. That's rough, man. That is rough. All right, so let me get your story. All right, how long you been prospecting and mining, and what got you started? The whole spiel.
Oh gosh. All right. So what got me started? This goes back generations for our family.
Okay.
My family's been a part of gold rushes since, we're talking the Carolinas,
Really?
down in Mexico, into the 1849 gold rush of California.
Wow.
What else?
What state do you live in?
Texas.
Texas, okay.
Yes, sir.
Wow, you got some roots going back.
Oh yeah. It's really what kicked it off is I think when I was younger, family was building a house. It was my aunt and uncle out in California. They were basically clearing the ground, and lo and behold, massive turquoise deposit.
Really?
Yep.
Okay.
So that really set it off. They mined a little bit of it, but really that was their dream location, home. So we pulled out tons of turquoise. My grandfather, who I was named after, did a lot of prospecting, and actually helped develop early metal detector technology. Worked with Duracell, things of that sort.
Holy cow! So you got the bug early then, because it was all around you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. So then it was, oh gosh, I did a lot. My primary focus was semi-precious and precious gemstones.
Uh-huh.
I spent a lot of time over in Africa, in Marilani mountain, things like that, and going after Savarite and Tanzanite.
Holy cow.
And then, I'm going to say it was probably late 08, 09. The market just fell out for gemstones. Gold was a pretty good byproduct, and it was a simple transition to primarily focus on precious metals.
Right. Wow.
So,
Amazing. Okay, so that's when you dove back into the gold scene, right?
yeah, because for a while I stepped away from gold. Gold was doing really well in I think that was 08, 09. If I'm not mistaken, gosh, gold was pushing $1,800 an ounce back then.
Yeah.
It little shaky on trying to remember the exact price and dates. I kind of slept since then, but
Uh-huh.
but gemstones, for me back then, even though gold was incredibly high, I'd get savarites by the handfuls over in Tanzania, things like that. So a 3-carat cut and polished, I was fetching like $8,000 for a 3-carat stone.
Wow.
AAA color. So it's like, yeah, get a little bit of gold, sweet, but when I can literally have 50 of those stones in my hand from a single day, I didn't bother with gold.
Oh yeah, I don't blame you. I wouldn't either, right? It's like hey.
and precious metals over in Africa is a nightmare. Gemstones, on the other hand, were actually really easy to get all my proper reports. Everything was conflict free. These were all registered mines. We were mining right next to it was either called Savarite one or I think it was Tanzanite one, South African company. And that was all underground tunneled mines. Some of the biggest Savarites we pulled out were featured in Christie's.
Wow.
So auction house. Yeah.
Holy cow. What made you go to Africa and do this? Is it just
chase the money?
Okay. All right.
So I was in the military, and when I was in tons of different conflict zones, one of the things people would bring to you would be precious metals and semi-precious and precious stones.
Mhm.
And those were like those locals' ticket out of war-stricken areas.
Okay.
And so I'm sitting there playing overseas. I'd always purchase precious metals and stones because I knew I could actually flip it, make a profit, and it actually would help them out and get them, get their families to it basically it like a little sanctuary city out of those countries.
Right.
So once I was out of the military, I just stuck with that was like my side hustle in the military, and I just stuck with it after that.
Okay, which makes sense, right? So then you said, all right, you're back here in the States, and you're like, okay, guess I'm gonna go dig some gold.
Yeah. So I worked for some larger companies. I got to play with a whole bunch of really neat technology, and unfortunately, I haven't really got to put that technology to use in Alaska. But if all goes well, I'm really hoping we're going to be putting our best foot forward and using some really fancy technology in the Bering Sea.
Really?
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be cool.
James, you've been around a lot of different places and stuff.
Yes, sir.
What would you say? And if you need to take a minute, that's fine. What would you say the most scariest moment you ever had, or anything that ever happened was?
Oh, that would definitely be actually in Africa. A crime syndicate was trying to kill me and rob me for the gold that we had.
Well,
Mm.
yeah, could be a kind of a scary thing. That one, hey Dennis, that one might win.
Yeah, I think. Wow.
That one might top the
What,
box.
when he come up to you at gunpoint and then tried to rob you, or what?
No, they were trying to play this, a different little game. Basically, I was jumping, from taxi cab to taxi cab, carrying 50 kilos of gold on me. I tucked out in a small fishing village, and pretty much started following, the organization hunting me down. And so I just reversed everything and started tailing them, and trying to make it to an embassy.
Mhm. Wow. Yeah, I think that one wins, Dan. So far,
Wow.
scariest thing ever that's happened.
So,
Yes.
and
You win, James.
I was 100% solo. My friend, I was just calling my friends up, kind of laughing about it. I'm like, well, good chance I may not make it today, but we'll see. And I was taking pictures. I'm like, but these are the guys that are trying to kill me just in case.
Yeah, 'cause there's a lot of crime over there, ain't there, when it comes to that? Right?
There can be.
Right.
There's also a lot of really good people.
Okay.
It's great. There's just bad apples anywhere you go.
Oh, yeah,
I mean, I don't
true.
I don't care where it is.
Yeah, this is true. But it's just, it seems like,
They sound worse over there.
yeah,
Different countries.
yeah, you're in a different country. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but where I actually felt like I totally wasn't in danger. I'm like, these guys, they have their automatic weapons and all that good stuff. But in the back of my mind, I'm like, okay, I'm an American citizen, and if I'm, murdered abroad, they don't want to stir up and actually ruin their operation. So I felt like I wasn't. I don't know. I don't really think I would have been hurt. They
Uh-huh.
just wanted the precious metal and
Yeah,
be
there's
done.
nothing
That
wrong
was
with
it.
If they had guns, you were in danger.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, it's that was more that intimidation factor, I think, and
Right.
I was a lot younger, and probably a little bit more fearless, So I was
No.
like, oh,
All right.
hey,
Yeah.
pull
Right.
a gun, let's dance.
Yeah.
Now,
Young
I
and
mean,
dumb.
yeah,
I-
it's like, especially after like you just, you're a year out after, spending. I don't know. I spent like 16 months in war already,
uh-huh.
like for that particular tour. So I'm like, no biggie.
Yeah, right. But now you get older, you get a little wiser, and you try to avoid those conflicts altogether.
Yeah, it's like, oh man. So my guardian angel was probably, just shaking his head like, oh my gosh, you're making me work overtime. Like, come on, let's get out of here.
Right. So you live in Texas, and you're like, okay, now I'm back here. I'm in the States. I want back in the gold game. What
Yep.
makes you go, "Oh, I think I'm gonna go down to the Bering Sea and try to find some gold there."
It really, so how I was even really like introduced or even looking at that particular project, I was working for an oil and gas company that was diversifying their portfolio.
Okay.
And that was just one of the projects I brought to the table for them. I really didn't have any interest in being there. I had what I felt were better projects abroad.
Mm-hmm.
And after some like environmental impact studies on some of the sites that we were looking at abroad in Mexico, we actually took on Alaska as a last resort. We put a huge investment into our Mexico operation, and where the gold tests out great, we were no longer allowed to mine because of a Tecate cypress tree,
Oh,
which is endangered in Baja. It only grows in dry, arid, highly mineralized ground.
wow.
and that's where our deposit was.
Yeah,
And
that's convenient. You can't mine there.
Yeah.
yep, yep. It's after we spent 2.5 years of testing, getting the permits, things of that sort. It was a really good property, but um, it wasn't worth, doing things kind of under the table and messing up, somebody else's land over it. So we pulled out.
Wow. So then you wound up in Alaska.
Yep, yep. And so pretty much we should be able to keep going, become deep rooted in Alaska offshore. I do like it. Bang for the buck. You really can't beat it. It is hard to move a lot of dirt, and I mean, if you really think about it, when you're sitting on the water, let's say bedrock 60 feet down, where the greatest gold's ever going to be, it's almost impossible for us to be able to get to that ground. I'll be able to get to, maybe, 2-3 different pay streaks at a couple different little strata lines.
Right.
But we're never going to be able to unlock the full potential like an inland project.
True.
And even with that said, there's more gold there than my grandkids are going to be able to mine.
Wow. Well, that's good. Now, are you enjoying yourself out there running the excavator and stuff like that?
Oh, always. It's man, it's a good time. It's different. I think a lot of people, probably the most frustrating part, like with the TV show, is you're getting a couple little snippets.
Right.
So when we're moving a lot of ground, like especially underwater, those pay streaks can be very small. Maybe you only have 8 inches of gold bearing ground. And so when we're scraping that ground, or if we're trying to break through hard pack, we're just starting a brand new cut, those buckets aren't full.
Okay.
Or we don't want them full. It's moving a bunch of unnecessary ground.
Right.
So we're scalping the top and moving it. So you're not always going to see a full bucket. Or if it's tons of pea gravel, that's another problem. Like we'll get a full bucket, drop it through the wash plant, it all goes right through the screen and clogs your sluice box.
Yeah. There you
go. So when we, that we constantly see comments, oh, the buckets aren't full, you need to have nothing but full buckets. It's like, well, you have to balance your box. And if the pay streak is only a foot deep, I mean, I'll take one swipe and I'll get a few full buckets, and then now I'm just barely scraping that top clay layer, because I don't want to load the box full of clay.
Right.
We'll be scraping and going, so I could have a quarter bucket, half a bucket, eighth, whatever it may be. What really does it for us, and I'm not the only operator that does it. All of our operators, like good friend Ryan, my Texas Australian dude, we're doing like we try and maintain 35 seconds a cycle. We start overloading the plant when we're dropping under 30 seconds, like 28 cycle times, 28 second. It's just too fast.
Right. I got you.
So it's a balancing act, and like what the cameras aren't picking up on that 12-hour shift. Sometimes our buckets are heaped because it's big round cobble, full, packed full of gold. Oh, you better believe we're getting the biggest buckets we possibly can and dropping it in. And then when we start hitting that hard pack, we're skimming the top, so we're not, wasting a bunch of time and putting unnecessary sticky material in there. But they never explain it on the show.
No.
Now, how did you end up with the Kellys? Did the producer put that together? Did you know the Kellys, or you know somebody who knew the Kellys? Or
I'm really trying to think. I actually think it was my friend Ryan that first met the Kellys and kind of introduced us all, and we just became friends. And if I would get in a bad situation where I needed some help out there, they actually, Chris was really willing to go the extra mile and help, because I guess from his past, maybe he doesn't have a lot of allies out there. He's very much either hated or liked. That's all there is to it. And the one thing I've discovered out in Nome, it's all about the allies you have and who you can go to, who
Right.
If this was anywhere else, like every mine site I've ever worked on, we never asked another miner for help, but I also had every piece of equipment, and I could get any item I wanted that at the drop of a dime.
Right.
Not so much in Nome.
That's what we hear. It's a lot
Yeah.
tougher down there.
It horrible.
Yeah, they say it's about who you know. It really is.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing, and they kind of it would be tough.
It is.
So I mean, do you think you'll stay in Nome, or do you think you'll move on to somewhere else looking for gold, or go back to precious stones again, or?
It will stay in Nome. That will be one of our operations.
Mhm.
The other operation we're currently setting up right now is an inland project in Nevada.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So that's
I'm there, man.
There. Hire Scott.
That's right. I'm close enough now. I'm close enough to that one.
There we go. Yeah, Nevada's a great place to mine.
Yeah.
I have I've been mining out there for a minute, and it's taken some time to find a good property, but I think we found a good property that we would like to call home. Our first site it's a little one. It's not huge. It's about 680 acres, but
no,
it's
not huge.
but it's good enough.
Gigantic.
From an inland perspective, I'm like, no problem.
Gosh, darn. That's a lot of land.
So what about red tape?
The what,
say
Rich?
that again.
What about the red tape for Nevada?
Oh, it's actually not bad
Not
at
too
all.
bad?
I was going to say
No.
Nevada's really good.
No, Nevada is a phenomenal state to work with. It's really simple. It's like if you have a question, just go to the agency directly and ask them. Tell them, hey, help me out. Help me achieve some financial freedom, and they will walk you through it. They just want it done correctly.
Right.
They want it done in a safe manner. They don't want you to destroy the habitat and not put things back the way it's meant to be.
You got to have the reclamation. That's for sure.
Yeah. It's about being responsible, and that's super important. For me, and that's why I left the big companies, is a moral compass. I have no problem cutting down 10,000 trees, but it's my job to go back and plant 20,000.
Right.
So our grandchildren, our children can enjoy the scenery when we're all done. Because after.
That's another thing we talk about, James, all the time, that they never show the reclamation on these shows, and it's like, why don't they just do a hour show at the end of the season and show that stuff? It's like,
well, what? What's funny to me is, like, in the Bering Sea, you're not going to have to. The sea will reclaim that,
right?
But you don't. You're right, Tim. I have never seen one show that actually showed the reclamation of it.
Beginning.
Yeah.
Way when this all first started, Gold Rush.
Yeah.
There was one show that showed reclamation. That was it that I remember.
Yeah.
The way we design the boats, just about everybody is, we're super conscientious of our tailings.
Right.
So when we make our first cut, the tailings usually are dropping on virgin ground, or if you're lucky, you're actually putting that initial cut onto some tailings. But as we mine, our tailings are literally backfilling our cuts.
Right.
So we our tailings are dropping somewhere in that 40-50 feet, off to our starboard side. So I'll make a cut and I'm running in a grid pattern. And when I step over, those tailings are dropping right back into my old cut. And then we'll come over to the side of where those tailings dropped on, let's say, higher ground or virgin ground. And we will position the boat and remove those tailings. That's going back into our old cut, and then we're right back into the virgin ground right under us.
Oh, wow.
So all of the boats work like this, even the dredgers. Nobody wants to dump a bunch of tailings on good ground, so we are all doing reclamation.
Nice.
I mean, it down to the person just learning how to dredge, they discover, it just clicks that it's like, oh, there was good gold there, and I just jumped around all over the place and I dumped my tailings everywhere. Now they stay stationary, get a longer hose, clean it up, reposition, move the tailings, get back on gold. So everybody's doing reclamation.
That's cool. And I like Scott said, the sea pretty much reclaims itself, don't it, with the currents and everything too, right?
The ice, I think, plays the biggest.
Does it?
Yeah, the biggest factor. Yeah, that really helps as that ice is, just pushing down. So everything up close, it's really helping. And then all that extra pressure as it's moving in, pulling out, it just, everything really, really flattens out.
Yeah, that ice would be like having a D29 dozer.
Right?
Yeah, you're right there, but it would. Man, that'd be crazy.
Yeah.
But
Now, is there a share that I guess it would be Alaska would get? Or I know, like when you're in British Columbia or you're in another place, don't they get a share of what you guys make, like the Yukon or whatever?
Yes. So it's really important that people actually do, pay at least something, to the state, just claim a little something. And it's so minimal. It's like 3% of your net profit. It's not even off the gross.
okay.
But if people aren't claiming that they're finding gold out there, if they believe, if DNR believes there's no resource, they'll pull it.
Sure. Oh yeah.
So it's in everybody's best interest to at least claim something. And I think there's, what a lot of the small timers really count on is the larger operations claim a little something and keep the resource open. But we should all be pitching in for stuff like that.
Yeah, that's a good question, Rich. I didn't know about that. Interesting. So the Nevada thing, back to that. So what kind of plant you running there at the Nevada operation?
It's our medium plant. It's a twin deck, 7x20, aggregate plant. It's just set up for gold recovery.
Nice. Very
so
cool.
It's decent. That's our medium one. Then I have what is that? An 8x20? It's either 8x20 or 24. That's our larger plant. So have one of those on site. I do like trommels. I love them, but they're a bottleneck. They scrub, they clean, and what you can put through an aggregate plant versus a trommel outweighs any loss.
Oh, okay.
So a really good sized trommel. You're stoked if you're pushing 100 yards an hour through a hefty sized trommel. And we had some beast of trommels set up over in the Sumter, Oregon area. I'm gonna say that was either a 5 foot or a 6 foot by 30 foot, trommel. So plenty of washing and
A lot of room.
and even on like a 5x30, trying to go past 100 yards an hour, you just start blowing out, wheels all the time.
No.
Your maintenance is through the roof. And on cruise control, I'm doing, 220, 250 yards an hour on a 5x16 wash plant.
Wow.
Without even thinking. It's harder to keep up with your tailings at that point.
Right. Wow. Moving some material. That's cool. So any plans to maybe go somewhere else? Like you said, you was talking about the Carolinas and stuff. Think you might go back there and ever do some mining again?
No, Texas.
Oh,
Texas.
There is some gold in Texas, mainly in the Llano River, like the Llano area. I think it's Llano Rivers, Guadalupe Rivers, but it's just more for prospecting. There's not a commercial deposit that I think like nobody's ever discovered it. I'm not saying it couldn't be out there,
Right.
but I've never found it. Anybody I know. As far as Carolinas go, I just don't know where to go to
North
try
Carolina.
and possibly find a commercial deposit.
Uh-huh.
And that's the key word. Like,
Okay.
I need to move. Like, yeah, I guess.
Yeah, right. That's the third time.
We really have to, be at a bare minimum of a half ounce an hour.
Right.
Man,
So-
Ohio. Want to go to a state? Go to Ohio. They got some chunky gold there.
Man, has somebody got a fire going on around them? 'Cause I can hear sirens.
Oh yeah. This is interesting. I've just watched like
Yeah,
all sorts of fire trucks and police officers
If
just
you
pass
lied.
by.
yeah, we see the
You better
light.
check the
Well,
next door neighbor's house.
Lights going off your face.
Yeah, I was like, geez. I just hope everybody's okay.
You thought you were having strobe lights going on
Yeah,
there.
you don't smell smoke, do you?
No. I'm actually good. I had to, I hit the gas station I was driving, and I pulled over to make sure I can, jump on this show. So
Oh, okay. I got you.
Yeah, it was funny because I heard the first siren. I was like, was that somebody's phone? Then I heard the second one, and the third one. I was like, oh no, there's a fire.
Yeah, I mean, that looks like 8 different vehicles over
Yeah.
there. So
Wow, something definitely happened. Jeez,
Yeah.
jeez. Crazy. So, all right. So, what would you if you had your choice though, of what you could do? Would you rather be there on the Bering Sea or on the inland operation? If you could
Both.
only do one. Yeah.
Oh, only do one?
If you could only do one, yeah.
Ooh. I would say if I could only do one, I would do the Bering Sea.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And the main reason for that, oh yeah, this is a good one. Like,
Your face was red.
yeah, that's multiple fire engines, and wow,
Man.
that's a good one.
Yeah. So you really like the Bering Sea. Now, you're not going to do none of that under the ice dive and stuff or anything, are you? Do you ever do that?
I did it once with the Kellys, and I mean it was cool. But bang, like risk versus reward, bang for the buck. No,
Yeah.
not my cup of tea.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's and really where I think the deposits are, the ice is super unpredictable.
Uh-huh.
So I'm not willing to really get after it.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No
I
way.
think if you lived up there and you had to keep yourself going, you'd probably do it. But if you're not living up there, no.
Yeah, I still don't think I would.
Well, once again, I mean, it's not the only spot, where there's gold. I mean, you could, come down to the lower 48, even if you live in Nome, and, go dredging and get on some good ground, I think just about anywhere, like even if it's frozen over, you're not worried about, the ocean just pulling out and
Oh yeah, yeah, taking
yeah,
you and everything with it. Yeah.
yeah.
Do you have
But
any
my
place that you would go if you had no worries about money, no time, nothing, no, just no laws? Where would you go for to prospect?
where would I go to prospect? I'd
Yeah, no
probably
laws, no money, no time, no anything like that.
No restrictions.
no restrictions. I would like to see what kind of deposits are in South America.
Oh,
Mm.
okay.
Yeah, yeah. So if I'm not mistaken,
I think we've seen that
oh,
tried before, didn't we?
I would probably say like I think it's maybe over by Venezuela or something like that. There are other offshore deposits, and I would like to see if I couldn't discover something that would rival Nome for an
Right.
offshore deposit, and I think that would more than likely be somewhere in South America.
See,
Yeah.
that would be cool.
That would be cool.
That would be.
Yeah,
So it's
and
probably, go ahead, James.
and then I mean I like the warmth.
Right.
You know.
That's a
Well, I said I'm there
win-win.
for Nevada. I'm all for it.
Winter, winter, buddy. It's warm.
Yeah.
I'm going there.
Yeah, and really my reasoning for if I had to pick only one place to go, and the reason why I chose the Bering Sea is it forces me to come home and not be a total workaholic, and I'll spend more time with the family. So the ocean kicks me off and makes me do the right thing.
Right. That's true. Now, but you have dredged before. Now, would you rather dredge during the summer or run the excavator? Which would you rather do?
Um, I think a little combination of both, but I'd say like if I could do like an 80-20, it would be 80% excavator,
Uh-huh.
drop down on those really nice clear days and just have fun on something
Okay.
like a 10-inch.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
Yeah.
Makes sense. So you enjoy dredging. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
You still haven't given that up yet, huh? Like,
I mean, I barely have a taste for it. I'm not a diver.
uh-huh.
Really, my first dive ever was actually under the ice.
Oh, really?
Um, yeah,
Wow.
yep. I got to work with an awesome dive instructor. Her name was Mandy. She and then also working with Trent and Kelly from production was absolutely amazing. They made sure I stayed safe. But other than that, I pretty much YouTubed on like, oh, what do I need to do to stay alive under the water? And just like,
Right.
all right, let's do this.
Oh,
So
Hmm.
just went for it.
okay. All right. That's cool.
Hmm.
I like
Yeah, probably not the smartest thing, but I did it.
Hey, you did your homework. That's all that matters.
Yeah, yeah, and yeah. So my first dive was with the Kellys. Went well. The hardest part was trying to figure out how to get the mast to seat correctly,
Right.
which really never worked out. And I think it was about an hour into the dive. It's pretty much Trent and Kelly called the whole dive, and they were trying to adjust my mask because I was purging it left and right. It just kept filling up with water. Didn't panic. Maybe that was the other problem they saw. They're like,
Yeah.
you're gonna drown.
Yeah. And you're not panicking over here. What's the problem?
Yeah, and I'm like, no, I'm good. Blip, 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 blip. Purge.
Oh yeah. But you got this, and that makes it tough for that mask to seal, don't it?
Yeah, yeah, and I mean, it's also up top. I really wasn't too concerned. Even though everybody wants to make the Kellys look like they're just a total, catastrophe on the show.
I like
The The only thing they forgot to do was fill up the hot water generator. So I did run out of hot water. But other than that, I felt like they weren't going to try and, like let me die underwater.
Right.
They would have yanked me out as fast as possible.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And then with two of the most amazing divers from production down there with me, and then also getting some really good training with Mandy, a dive instructor. I felt I felt confident.
Right.
Yeah.
Now you seem like you're serious about what you do. Now, does it sometimes annoy you having all the camera crews there and doing this? Wouldn't you? Is there days you're just like, I wish this camera stuff wasn't going on, that we could just mine for gold?
No, it doesn't bother me. I really don't feel they get in my way at all, because I mean, maybe it's just my experience with them. They're not, like, oh, can we stage this whole thing?
Uh-huh.
Like this whole fake episode that everybody seems to think that we stage. They might ask for a couple takes, like, hey, I'd like to get a really cool camera shot of the bucket going into the water.
Right.
All right, cool. That's a couple minutes, and they just want to set up a camera and get really cool shots so it can go on TV.
Right.
Other than that, I'm swinging away and they're waiting for something to break.
Right.
I mean, it's mining. Everything is going to fall apart.
Oh,
you have a plant that is literally trying to shake itself apart, or you have a trommel that's trying to spin itself loose.
Yeah.
I mean, it's heavy equipment. People are going to, unfortunately get hurt, make mistakes. You just have to, I guess, have thick skin and realize every mistake you make, the whole world's going to judge you on that. And that's what's going to be aired.
Oh,
Right.
yeah. It seems like it's always the worst stuff that,
Yep.
So
James, Joseph Otto said hello to you in the chat.
Oh, hello.
yeah, we'll open up the phone lines in a minute and you can get a call if they want, ask you questions. So let's do a quick commercial, James, and we'll be right back when we're
Just a quick one commercial or quick two commercials?
quick too. We're live when we do commercials. So if you want to mute your mic or something, you'd probably be better off, or so one of them deals. So we'll be right back, everybody, with James Barkley after these messages.
Do you like to mine for gold? Enjoy prospecting a nice crack in the bedrock? Enjoy getting outdoors to camp, fish, hunt, and hike on your public lands? You plan your trip, load the gear, grab the dog, put the family in the truck, and drive off to a locked gate. A sign says you cannot enter or access your own public lands. Mining claims and public land owned by we the people are being designated as off limits by our own government every single day. Are you concerned about the direction our government is going? Are you tired of seeing no access, no entry signs on your lands? We are, and we are fighting back. We are AMRA, America Mining Rights Association, the fastest growing small mining advocacy association in America. AMRA is a 501c3 not-for-profit formed by miners, hunters, off-roaders, retired military men and women to stop the insanity. AMRA was formed to educate, unite, and help the small miners and public land users on their rights given to us by God. Do you want access to great mining claims? For a small tax-deductible donation to their Miners Legal Fund, your family gains access to proven excellent mining claims across America for an entire year. AMRA challenges the USFS, BLM, EPA, and the other agencies intent upon stopping you from enjoying your own lands. You are who pays these people's wages. It is time they listen to us. We need to unite. And that is what AMRA is doing. As you sit here right now, thousands of acres of public lands are being closed, locked, and blocked from use by you. Are you fed up yet? Join us. Get in on this fight and let's restore America to what our families fought and died for. freedom. Just visit AmericanMiningRights.com. AmericanMiningRights.com. Also, check us out on Facebook at American Mining Rights Association. AmericanMiningRights.com.
In 1858, gold was discovered in the rivers of New Caledonia. This discovery would spark a massive gold rush. Today, the search for gold is much easier, yet still challenging with Dirt Hog Pay Dirt. At Dirt Hog, we pride ourselves on our gold and guaranteed gold amounts. Just visit dirthogpaydirt.com today and buy yourself a bag of the best pay dirt concentrates on the market. Order with confidence in Canada and North America. dirthogpaydirt.com. The best gold concentrates on the market, period. Also, be sure to check out our Honest Bonus program.
Welcome back to Prospectors Radio. If you have any questions or comments for us, give us a call at 419-520-7574. And now, here's your host, Tim Grimes.
All right, everybody, we're back. We're talking to James Barkley from the show Bering Sea Gold. If you got any questions, you can give them a call at 419-520-7574. And hopefully James can answer them for you.
I will do my best.
Do his best. And if you do call in, make sure you turn off your speaker so you don't get the feedback. So, all right. So where was we? We was at, heck, I don't even remember where the hell we left off at.
So you're in Texas for now until you go back up there, I guess, correct?
Actually, we are currently setting up our inland project in Nevada.
Mhm.
So this is going to be a very, very difficult year to manage everything. I will probably have a little bit of a divide and conquer crew. I have very, very skilled operators that are ready to run our Nevada project. Very trustworthy people as well. So I'm not too worried there. And we're going to keep it small, single shift on our inland project. And, I can't give too many details away for Alaska, but
Right.
hopefully it will be, it will be big.
All right. Normally, what time of year do you head back up to Alaska?
Oh, second week, May.
Second,
Could be sometimes, first week. I believe last season, boots on ground was Cinco de Mayo, so the 5th.
Okay.
And I feel like ice is going to break up pretty early this year, so
Right.
it's in everybody's best interest to get up there a little bit early and do as much preventative maintenance as possible.
Right.
And that's what everybody does, the scramble to get into the water.
Yeah, now I know on like the last episodes I watched, I that wasn't from last year, I don't think, right? That was like the year before.
No.
Or something.
Correct.
So I'm sure by now you've gotten all those excavator issues worked out. I know you're having a few issues.
Oh, that excavator was never supposed to be on there for that season. That was, there was a few things that shouldn't, have really been done
Right.
for the boat, but the excavator was a big one. I knew it was going to be the bane of my existence, and all I could do is just sit back and enjoy the sucks.
Right. Yeah, what else can you do, right?
James, do you do any hard rock mining?
A little bit. It's just, it's just so dang expensive to go after, a nice, low deposit like that. It's your cost per ounce, at $600 to recover an ounce would be dirt cheap. And that would be just shy of a miracle. Typically it's, right around that $800 to recover an ounce of gold. So you make a mistake, you go broke quick.
If you ever decide to, I've got 4 gold claims in Idaho and 1 gold mine. I picked up the gold mine 2 years ago. So open invite if you ever want to do hard rock mining, because I don't know a whole lot about it, but I've got one.
It's, I mean, oh gosh, just setting up your entryway.
It's already set up.
Getting it compliant to today's standards, with your negative and positive airflow. Oh my goodness, the regulations are unreal. Very, very familiar with them, and setting up that whole keyway. Oh gosh, I don't know, on the cheap, $500 a foot.
I know they quit back in the 70s or 80s, whenever they shut down. I guess gold had really dropped and it wasn't worth much, but there is a lot of gold out there. So, and other precious metals, but
there is. But it's setting up the whole recovery system. Oh gosh. One of the big things is I'd have to do a column test and figure out the best way to leach everything out. So when you pull it, crush it, everything like that, we got to figure out the best recipe. The column testing alone, the last column test I set up, I was right around 60 grand just to do a column test.
Right.
That's just trying to figure out the best recipe. And then, we're going to figure out if it's a CIL froth flotation. Are we going to do a heap leach? And then when you do the heap leach, what's your recipe? Are we dealing with sodium cyanide? I mean, gosh, the whole series of crushing in mills that takes place. And yeah, I mean, it takes years to set up something big, but it could also pay off.
Yeah.
Right.
Sounds like a lot of this.
Yeah, it does. It definitely sounds like
it's big money. And a lot of people are afraid of chemicals. Idaho, as far as it really depends on what's nearby, but they're fairly friendly with mining as well.
Yeah,
everything's protected.
Yeah, they're kind of super protected. Ain't
The
they?
mussel, the frog, that one little tree bird nobody sees anymore.
Oh, but yeah. I mean, but if you're willing to take the agencies head on, do your city council meetings, and you
get in good with them.
They just talk about the pros and the cons. There are systems, for 100% containment. So let's say they were 100% opposed to heap leaching because of water sources. Now you can do a complete closed circuit to where you could run electrocoagulation on your spent waters and actually discharge it for agricultural use. But a system like that, I mean, you're looking, just for electrocoagulation on the water, $250,000, plus, just on a single system.
Man, that's like,
so,
yeah, he definitely knows this stuff about it.
Yep. He definitely got a long past of it. Jeez.
That's one guy I want on my team.
Yeah.
He knows his poo-poo about mining.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were in the after parties and stuff with Brian, and he came in, and just any subject we touched on, he was just like, he had, something to say about it. We'd talk from this to that, and then we'd talk about like refining gold with acids and stuff. And he knew about that. I was like, man, we got to get him on the show.
Yeah.
See Brian over there or hang out with Brian?
Yeah. You know Brian?
Wilder?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Awesome person. It's I think that's something that's developed into a really cool friendship, and I think it's going to be, many more years to come of trading stories, techniques. I can't wait to learn a ton from him as well.
Nice,
man. It was just so cool to have.
Don't let him near your beer.
It's like having one of your own. Brian was a member of this of this site, for how long, Tim?
A
And
while.
then he just, he got lucky and got in with the guys there in Alaska, and I think it was before it was after his very first season. He got a hold of me, and he actually kind of jogged a little bit out of his way, and he stopped here in Indiana, stayed the night, and I actually ended up going having breakfast with him before he headed back up to Alaska. So he's a really cool dude, man.
And he's been down there with Scott too, right, Dennis? Right, Scott? He's been down there with you before drinking beer.
Yeah, he's been out here. He's been out here as the crow flies across the mountain riding dirt bikes the last couple of days, I think.
Yeah, he has been. I seen yeah. You
yeah,
did
playing with rattlesnakes, I think.
Yeah, you got to tell him you got a refrigerator full of beer, and he'll stop by.
Oh, yeah.
He knows I got beer. I always got beer.
Not that old natty.
I think your buddy, the Texas Australian guy you was talking about, is in the YouTube chat. Aussie Ohms. He says, "I'm always learning new stuff. Working with James, wealth of knowledge."
That's cool.
Yep. It's he's coming back. Stateside. It's he's originally born and raised in Texas. Family moved to Australia, and he is one amazing earth mover. I've had the pleasure of working with him in Mexico as well, and Alaska. Cool. Phenomenal operator, and he's coming back, and that's one of the foremans that I'm blessed to have. That's going to be partaking in all sorts of fun little adventures.
That's awesome. Heck yeah, that's cool. That's, you got somebody like that on your team. Yeah. But what about Australia? Would you like to go down there and do some mining?
I'm not a fan of dry washing. You're just leaving so much. You're leaving so much behind.
Yeah.
It's you do recover a lot. The nugget factor, it's cool. But once again, I mean, there's just too much good weather out there, and really, I want to stay in seasonal operations, so I spend more time with the family because I know myself better. I mean, you give me 300 days of mining, oh sweet, I'm gone 300 days.
Okay, that kind of got you. That makes sense, I guess. But no dry washing.
It's just, I mean, it's dusty. Oh gosh, it's just not
wet.
good.
It's the same thing.
But the recovery, it's the water mechanics, the physics on your recovery with gravity separation. It's simplistic. It's bang for the buck. It's super cheap. Dry washing is very inexpensive as well. But then now it comes down to gold recovery. With our systems, we've actually done 100% containment of our tailings for designated runs, and then checked our gold loss and our inland setups with our sluice designs and internals. We run about 0.4 to 0.6% loss. That's it.
Wow.
Nice.
Good.
Nice.
So it's kind of hard to beat like a really awesome inland project. But it does cost. It costs a bit more. No matter what, you're touching things a couple more times. At least with the ocean, it's endless water. You're not pulling a ton of head off of water pump. The strain on your equipment isn't as crazy, and Mother Nature gives you a break. I mean, after you've gone 10, 12, 18, 20 days, whatever it may be, sure enough, she's going to kick you off the water, let you recover, and I don't mind it.
Right. Yeah, you seem like you wouldn't like the downtime. That you'd like to just mine every day.
Yeah. So the downtime, that's the mental challenge. That's probably the most difficult part. If something breaks, it's frustrating,
Mhm.
but you just gotta, suck it up and deal with it. And
Right.
and if it's a big storm, which happens every year, we'll get a good, 10-day, 2-week plus, where the water is just going to be a nightmare.
Mhm.
It's a great time to, jump on a plane, just go reset. Um, like for those that have kids, go
Sure.
see your kids, have them come up and see you, go to Anchorage, just, get out and
Right.
enjoy life a little bit,
Now,
and I think that
that's makes perfect sense.
Yeah,
Now, when
but
you're up there
I
though, and you have some downtime like that, do you ever just go off and say, I might go check out some creeks up here, or just go check out some areas and see what I could find? You ever done that?
it really no. I don't play around because I think I'm more afraid that I'm going to find a really cool deposit and then want to
Mhm.
go set up an inland project in Alaska.
Right.
So I'm just like, I'm going to stay away from it. I know there's gold over there, but let somebody else have it. Let somebody else make their dollar. I got a 14-mile stretch of ocean I can play on,
Yeah.
with ease. So
Right.
it's just staying focused, staying on track, and I'm just gonna stay in my lane.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think your inland operation sounds really interesting in Nevada. I wonder if there'll ever come a day where that'll be on the TV show.
I'll probably end up shooting our own little docu-series.
That'd be cool.
So
Yeah.
we're setting that up right now,
Mhm.
to where we'll
What's it
be able
pay?
to, huh?
What's it pay?
Oh, that's the cool part, is instead of being funded by major TV networks, we're gonna just stick to simple social media, probably YouTube,
All right.
Instagram, Facebook, and then we're just gonna, oh man, kind of shoot, the day in, day out. Probably be boring for most, but I'll be going over everything from how we set up a box, based on degrees, things like that, what kind of internals. um it's just more educational,
Yeah.
I guess.
That's what I mean. That'd be really cool because
Your inland set it. Is it going to be mid or high Nevada?
um Gosh, it's over by Winnemucca, in that area.
Yeah.
yeah.
So
Watch out.
seasonal.
Do they got those desert tortoises down there, Scott?
Yeah, they do. Don't pick
Yep.
up the
The desert tortoise. Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's always a bummer when you find stuff like that. Gosh, it's gone back and forth with sage grouse before.
Oh,
It's
really?
like, yeah, it's like, oh, is this protected in this area or not? It's
Uh-huh.
that's always fun.
So I'm trying to picture. Okay, in Nevada, so is that like a real sandy region you're in there, or?
Really depends where you're at. I mean, the geology is just amazing.
Mhm.
I mean, you have everything from like the Carlin Trend, to interesting deposits called Bajadas. So the geology is just impressive.
Right. Interesting.
So,
So did you go
mhm.
to school for geology, James?
No, I studied.
You
I
just
I would I would pick up. I thought about going to the School of Mines, in Colorado. And then I was like, oh well, maybe I'll go to the one in Nevada. Oh, maybe I'll go to the one in Alaska. And then I'm like, you know what? How about I just buy the curriculum from all sorts of colleges, and even colleges abroad.
uh-huh.
I've studied information from Russia as well. even though we're, not really friends or big fans of them.
Right.
They have a huge history in mining, and it's from all over the world. I've studied information technology and techniques, South America as well.
Wow. Oh, wait,
So,
dude, that says a lot. I mean, you seem very super knowledgeable on all this geology stuff, so you did good.
I just been fortunate that people have given me the time, and it actually helped me out. I've got to work with really awesome geologists, and like the little tidbits of information that I have. It's like working with people that are that masters in their field is that's where it's at. So I kind of went with the the old philosophy, like I don't want to master one, I would like to be a jack of all.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
Makes sense, dude. Hey, way to go. Like I say, great job.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
That's impressive. I mean, so I don't even know. It's cool.
It is cool.
It is very cool. Now, don't forget, everybody, 419-520-7574. If you got a question for James, you better give us a call. I'm sure he'd gladly answer for you. If you got a question about whatever, give him a call.
It's like Cleo, call me now.
Yeah, call Scott.
if you're even old enough to know what Cleo is. I mean,
oh, Miss Cleo? Yeah, of course we do.
Call me now. I'm telling you.
That commercial used to come on at like 1 a.m, didn't it?
A lot of times, yeah.
Yeah.
It was backed up by that one ambulance chasing lawyer.
Yeah, usually he's right behind it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Interesting. Very cool. Now, what's the kind of the most interesting thing you've ever found, James, when you've been out there digging anywhere in Africa or the Bering Sea? Is there something that's really been really cool that you took home, put on the shelf, and said, "This is awesome"?
Really?
Man,
Rock.
yeah, just really interesting crystal formations for me. I think that's why the diving, is intrigues me a little bit more in the ocean. I get to see what all my friends find.
Right.
Like Macaulay that was on the show not too long ago. The collection he has of just underwater shenanigans is impressive. Like, I mean, he's found like fossilized ivory and all sorts of cool stuff. And I'm like, wow, the coolest thing I found was literally like a crystal. Like,
Well, the coolest thing I've ever found was like a rock.
Yeah, I'm just like, oh, I mean, gemstones are cool, but that's literally what you're targeting. So,
Right.
but like some random gem or artifact, I have not, besides like horseshoes and coins in Mexico.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, it's not nothing too spectacular.
Okay.
Rare coin, or I wouldn't even call them rare, like, but like 1865,
Yeah, that, to me, that's rare. That's kind of cool.
Yeah. So a couple coins, nuggets. I mean, nuggets are always
Nuggets
rad.
are always cool. Yeah, good collectible ones.
But I guess I'm more fascinated when somebody pulls up like a petrified walrus, like with tusk intact intact. I'm like, oh my gosh, like you just found like this $50,000 like artifact. And I'm like, I found a 1 ounce nugget that a lot of people have.
That's true. That would be cool.
Yeah. Joseph Otto asked you, what do you predict ounce per hour in your Nevada claim? Do you have any numbers on that, or?
Ooh, that's a good one. man. And I was actually fortunate enough to work with Mr. Otto as well. That was a lot of fun. But ounce per hour, um, I'm probably going to be pushing 200 yards an hour. We're going to try and stay in that sweet spot. And I think we're going to be right around, ounce and a half. Could be a little under, could be a little over. It's a consistent grade, but not like mind blowing, where we're going to be on 3-4 ounces an hour. The type of deposit, what we're actually looking for is the load itself. And once we pull out the plasters, if we develop the load deposit, I'm hoping one of those big companies will come in and pick it up from there. So this is a disseminated style of deposit. So old mountains slowly eroding out, predominantly angular and subangular rock. So I'm not dealing with river stones or anything like that. So the deposit isn't as good as other places, but consistent over large acreage. So you have to up your yardage to be able to hit your quotas, and that's really the best way of going after an inland project, is figuring out the recipe. If you need to be at a half ounce an hour to make a profit, how many yards does it take to make that half ounce in an hour? So if you could do it in 100, sweet. If you then and if you have the water to back it up, then you know where to set your plant. And I think another mistake people do, which I've dealt with a big mining company in Montana. I butted heads with the CEO over this, but they were trying to force over 600 yards an hour through a wash plant. And me personally, I'd rather have focus on just a little bit smaller. Like, I don't like to push over 300 yards an hour in a wash plant. If I need to do more than 300 yards, I'll set up a second wash plant.
Right.
So that way we can maintain this the sluice box properly, and really go after the maximum recovery. I don't like 5, 10, 15% losses off the end of a box.
That's a big loss. Yeah.
A lot of people are okay with the 10% loss. And I mean, if you're doing it, why not? Like, if you're making 4,000 ounces, a lot of people are like, well, what's 10%?
Yeah.
Oh, I lost 400 ounces. It's like, well, that's still 400 ounces.
Yeah.
Last time I checked, that's big money.
You ain't kidding. Yeah.
So I'm just not okay with that. And where I'm willing to take a small percentage, like, a 3% difference, I'll take dirtier rock coming off a wash plant and, tripling my production versus 100% clean rock off a trommel. Really, you're only going to see about a 3% difference.
Okay. Wow.
Unless if it's super, super, super sticky, then you just, would have to maybe set up a crash box or something like that and really get it to soak. But 9 out of 10 times, I'll take a wash plant over a trommel, even though I absolutely love trommels. They're just fun. They look cool.
Yeah, they are cool. Yeah, agree. Interesting. Man, I think it's pretty cool, James. Everything you're doing sounds really amazing, and I wish you all the luck in the world with that inland mine. Is this the first one you've ever done? I mean, that you've, that's all you?
No. The one of the bigger projects that was all us was in Mexico, and that cost us really hundreds of thousands of dollars. I mean, that really set us back financially. because of the environmental impacts, even though we did a 2.5-year environmental impact study, and got all of our approvals, and then got some college kids out of San Diego. They determined a brand new species of tree that's super rare. And I was like, oh, rad. Thanks. Couldn't have done this like a couple years ago. Like, you would have saved us a lot of money.
Yeah, that's money you can't get back, right? It's like, oh,
yeah. And then, but I've set up, quite a few inland projects for some oil and gas companies. Really, really good projects from in Nevada, Montana, Oregon.
That's
so
cool. That's really cool. Interesting.
A couple people have asked him, but I'll hit this on the head. He's currently on the side of the road, so he didn't bring any gold porn to show us tonight.
Oh.
Well, I don't really keep any gold, and if I do have a couple pieces that I want to keep, I'll put them in a safety deposit box in a bank.
Wow.
I don't keep anything at home.
Yeah.
There's just no reason for it, for me.
No, you see it all the time.
I mean, even if I didn't, like, house catch on fire, somebody wants to, break in, try and rob you. Like, I just don't, I don't keep assets like that. And if you're making big gold, I don't know, hedge a particular percentage that you like. Put the rest in real estate or something. It's.
Hey, makes sense.
Yeah.
I agree 100%. Yeah. Sell it.
I mean, real estate's always going to make you money.
Right. And that's what you're doing it for. You're out there digging it to make money. So sell it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. Sell it. Keep, keep I feel each person is different. There's no, right or way of doing it. I mean, if you want to keep 90% and only cash out 10%, sweet. That's your,
oh yeah,
that's your method. So
sure,
for me,
yeah,
but as for me, I keep a very, very small amount, and the rest is, sold as soon as we get it. I mean, that goes right to the refinery.
All right. Yeah, some people might want to sit on it and hope price goes up and up and up, and hey, it's worth more now, but they can always go the other way too. So
I think it just comes down to like smaller operations. You need to get, you're not going to worry about your first ounce or something. When you're running a bigger operation, you got fuel costs, you got workers cost. I mean, it has to go out. You can't just hold on to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, for me, it's like, what can the dollar actually do? So I look at gold doesn't pay dividends. So if you want your, diversify, that's all I can really tell people is keep a small percentage that you feel comfortable with, but, make that dollar make you money 30 different ways.
Yeah.
It's that was probably, my big mistakes earlier in life is I would just get tunnel vision and focus on a single way to make a dollar.
Mm-hmm.
So I really feel if you're out there, you're pretty much making your own paycheck. I mean, if you pull out, $1,500, that's like, okay, sweet. Set a couple hundred of it aside in physical gold, that makes you happy. Now you got $1,000. Okay. The right, high risk investment, you can make 20% on that a week.
Smart.
So,
hey, James. Very smart. Dude, we want to thank you for coming and hanging out with us tonight. We really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate being on the show.
Yeah, well, you're welcome back anytime. That's not a problem. If you ever got something you want to talk about and want a little airtime, let us know. We'll get you on here. And we wish you all the luck in the world with your new inland operation you got in Nevada. Hopefully that.
Yeah, give me a call if you need help.
Yeah, call Scott. Give him the word.
Most definitely.
I can be there. I can be there in 6 hours, man. It's easy.
He's just down the
There
road.
we go. 6 hours, right around the corner.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
down the road.
that's just a simple drive past Vegas. We're good.
Yeah, that's a,
You can even stop
know.
in Vegas.
yeah, I don't. Yeah, it's hard to get past Vegas, though. You know, you're like,
Yeah,
oh.
it is. You just have to
There's cool
stop
stuff, shiny lights.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's about all there is at night.
Yeah, but you have to stop. It don't matter if you go past it, you're stopping. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely, James. Take care, buddy. Thanks again for hanging out with us. You know, best of luck, and look forward to seeing some videos of that inland mine.
We'll be watching.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
All right.
We'll be,
Thank you.
brother.
Thank you. I appreciate you all.
All right. You have a good evening. Take care, brother.
Take care.
All right, James. Take care.
All right.
Thank you,
Good
James.
night.
Bye, buddy.
Thank you. Bye.
All right, everybody. That was James Barkley from the Bering Sea Gold.
That was awesome.
Yeah, great guest, you know, and it was definitely a pleasure having him here. Always a pleasure, you know.
Yes.
Interesting. Very, very interesting.
Oh yeah.
Very, very interesting, Scott. Man, that's just down the road from you, Scott.
I know it.
Just saying. There you go. You might want to throw out an application. You and Rob. Right, Rob?
Maybe.
Maybe. Rob's like, I'm ready to get back to California.
Well, I don't know why it's freaking just as cold over there as
Yeah, I
it
know.
is.
They just got dumped on, didn't they, Rob?
Well, did you
Snow?
see the race yesterday that got canceled because of snow?
What?
It's
Yeah, the race yesterday in Fontana, California got canceled because of snow.
Oh man, they should have had him raced in the snow.
Oh yeah.
That'd have been really realistic and good. That would have been a good race. Then I would have watched that race. Yeah. No snow tires or nothing. Just go. Yep.
So before we get too far off track, Tim, we have the end of
that's
month
right.
Pay It Forward giveaway.
That's right. And Jaron, who's the guest on that show Tuesday night on Tuesday night?
Ooh, you caught me off guard on that one.
Oh, you always know.
I was gonna say I haven't even seen an advertisement for it yet.
Jaron always knows. That's why.
Oh, really?
Sorry, Jaron. Well, don't forget to check out Tuesday Night Hangouts with Ed Justin over there at their Tuesday Night Hangouts.
It should be B3 Relic Recovery, Metal Detectorists on.
Oh, heck yeah.
Tuesday.
Oh,
I was gonna say we all know the cluck that was on there last week.
Yeah, guy that got the second most popular show. I mean, come on. Can you beat that one, Scott? I'm right behind Mr. Dan Hurd.
B3, is that the Chris Bennett?
Yes.
Yeah, Rich, it is. Very cool. See? Yeah, so yeah, we know the cluck that was on there.
So if you allow share screen, Tim, I'll pull up.
I sure will. And hopefully everybody got that typed in there. Is there a lot?
Yeah, I was typing it throughout the show on YouTube and everything. We got 19 entries. So
19 entries. And what's the prize again this month?
It's a 1 ounce copper round.
Very cool.
There's pictures of it on the GPS Pay It Forward monthly giveaway tab.
Okay. All right. Cool. Well, I shared the thing, Jaron. You should be able to do you now.
Okay.
You should be good, brother. Man. Interesting. Let's see.
So here we have our names. If you don't see your name on there, let me know in GPS and make sure you're on there.
Let's see, is old Swiftwater on there? Yeah, he's there.
I wonder if
Dennis is there. Rich, did you get in there? Yeah, you were there. White Gold, yeah. All right. Yeah, there we go. Gonna shuffle it a couple times, Jaron, or
we'll shuffle it a couple times.
Shuffle.
I put some oil on the wheel.
Did you oil it up real good?
It spins longer now.
Good.
A lot of people were saying it was too short, so
it was. I like a longer spin. Yeah, I like it to really just.
Hey, you got it greased up. It's all that matters.
Yeah, I want to feel like we're on the Wheel of Fortune. That sucker spins. Closest
All right,
to
I don't see any new entries in GPS, so we'll let her
All right,
roll.
so let her rip, Tater Chip.
Drum roll, please.
Oh, he oiled it good. That's perfect.
Oh,
Heck yeah.
Dennis Dayton. Nope.
Nope.
Charles
Nope. No.
FM.
Dennis, you missed it by that much.
That's Gold Pro Unlimited. So Jeff,
Oh,
just
yeah.
message John Hunt, or maybe we'll get an after party. You guys can get that sorted out.
How about window?
Congrats.
Congrats. Yeah, way to go, brother. Cool.
Golf clap.
Dennis, that
Golf clap.
I don't ever win anyway. I don't care.
Scott never wins either.
Join the party, buddy.
Yeah,
You
Scott,
always win. You're just never there to collect it.
that's true. This is another true thing. Yeah.
And one more thing, next Sunday, be sure to join us, same time. We'll be having Jane Kilcher from several
What?
Alaskan shows, and also she was on Bering Sea Gold this year.
We're gonna have Jane's gonna be here.
Oh, heck yeah.
Awesome. Rob,
Yeah.
what's that look about?
Yeah, stay tuned. We got
Oh, right
lining
on.
up guests.
Rob said he won't miss it.
You bet I won't.
Jane Kilcher. Oh, that's pretty cool. I got
Yeah.
a lot of questions to ask her, not so much about gold, but about being out there where they live at, out there in the middle of nowhere.
And the following Sunday on the 12th, we'll have, I don't know how, I'll probably murder this last name, but Frank Schlichling from Exploring Abandoned Mines.
Cool. Okay.
Ooh,
Oh, okay.
Nice. Interesting.
yeah.
Interesting. Way to go. It's cool. Jane Kilcher's our next guest. Okay. Get some questions thought up there, Scott. Dennis.
I always got them.
I'm sure Rob's got some.
So televise that show, or is that show over, or what?
It's still on.
Is
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
Oh,
I haven't seen it, so that's
Yeah,
all right.
it's still on. I've watched it. Yep. I don't think they're old ones, but it's still aired. They're still playing it. So, yeah. Well, that's cool. Scott might be able to get some fishing tips from her. She's a heck of a
I
fisher.
don't think I need fishing tips, buddy.
I don't know. You might. You didn't win that catfishing contest.
When was the next available date, Jaron? Because actually, I was going to be getting Jeff Williams on.
Well, we're shooting for Carlos Minor on the
Yeah.
19th. That is the first available date. And beyond that, we don't have anything scheduled. So
19th of
March. But we're trying to reserve that for Carlos.
Trying to,
Um,
yeah. If I can
Okay.
get him. Do you
So
send him a
after
message?
March 19th, Dennis.
Garen, did you send Carlos a message?
I have not. I didn't know I was supposed to.
Well, I was just wondering. I have. Yeah.
I can, if you want me to.
I'm just sending him another one right now.
send them. All right, I'll try to work on.
So let me see. Yeah, talk to Jeff. Let me see if I can get Carlos for the 19th. Yeah. And then,
Get Jeff.
yep, and get old Jeffy. Been a while since we had Jeff on.
Yep.
Hmm. Yep. So, yeah, it'd be nice to get Jeff. Yeah. Yep. Miss Jeff. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
It's been a little bit.
has been.
He's been busy.
Gosh, has he ever?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He's picked a lot of new stuff, but I'll wait and let him talk about it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. But
Lot of
yeah,
cool-
we got some great guests coming up. It's going to be cool. Jaron, thank you. I'm getting the guests. Great job. I don't know. Is
Yeah, good job.
Randy helping too? Randy, thank you. Everybody that's helping get these guests. Thank you guys very much. We appreciate it. Without a doubt. You guys do a great job. Do a great job moderating and everything. All you guys.
Yeah, it makes it a better show when we have guests.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely does.
Yeah, buddy. Heck yeah.
I think it got to the point where I couldn't get anybody to even answer an email anymore. So
Well, if I can get you to smile more, just
We got new
I'm
blood.
smiling right now.
Are you smiling right now, Scott?
Yeah,
We're gonna have to shave that crap off your lip then, so we can see you smile.
I think so.
We can't see you smiling. Looks like-
Yeah,
all right, you're angry. Arr, arr.
I'm always smiling.
Smile.
I just cut my beard off like what last week.
I know, but that didn't help. We can only see your bottom lip. Can't tell.
That's how it goes.
Well, we want to see you smiling, happy. Yeah. Right. All right. Thanks again, James, for being here, and thank you guys for being here, and thanks to our listeners for being here. You guys have a great week. We'll see you Wednesday. Excuse me, West Coast Wednesday, right here, 9:00, Prospectors Radio. Till then.
Good night, gold diggers.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, everybody.
Be sure to tune in next Sunday at 7:30 for another great show. For updates and more info, please go to www.prospectorsradio.com.